Greetings to all. Welcome to Future Officers Academy. Today we are going to see the hot topic of the year, session 23. Under this, we are going to discuss the topics of ports in India, quantum engine, and abortion laws in India. So now we'll have detailed analysis of these three topics. Our first topic is about ports in India. So we know that India has a rich maritime heritage, and the earliest reference to maritime activities is contained in the Rig Veda. There is a plenty of evidence derived from Indian literature, art, sculptures, painting, and archaeology to establish the existence of Indian maritime traditions. The study of these countries' maritime history reveals that the Indian subcontinent exercised supremacy over the Indian Ocean from very early times to the 13th century. Indians took the sea for trade and commerce rather than for the political ends. The period up to about 16th century witnessed peaceful sea-borne commerce and cultural traditions exchange between countries. The Indian Ocean has always been regarded as an area of great significance, and India as the central to this ocean. Now, what are the ports and shipping industry seen in India? We see that India comprises a significant size maritime sector with 12 major and 200 plus non-major ports situated along its 7,500 kilometer long coastline and vast network of navigable waterways. The total cargo handling capacity of Indian ports is about 2,400 MN tons per annum, that is MTPA. Ports in India handle approximately nearly 95 percentage and 68 percentage. This is 95 percentage comes under volume and 68% comes under the value. So it handles of Indians external trade in such a way. India is one of the world's top 5 ship recycling countries and holds nearly 30% of share in global ship recycling market. India ranks 18th in the world shipping tonnage. India is the 60th largest maritime country in the world. India has 12 major ports and about 200 non-minor ports. So non-major ports. India has a merchant fleet of 1,441 seagoing ships with a total capacity of 13 MNGT. Ports in India are classified as in two types. First, major and the is minor. According to the jurisdiction of the central and state government as defined under the Indian Ports Act of 1908. So all the 12 major ports are governed under the Major Port Trust Act of 1963 and owned and managed by the central government. All the minor ports are governed by under the Indian Port Act of 1908 and owned and managed by the state government. Under Maritime India Summit 2021, 486 MOUs were signed for Maritime India Summit 2021 by 22 maritime ports agencies and authorities. India has become the fourth country in the world to have the independent regional navigation satellite system, that is IRNSS. The Indian ports and shipping industry plays a vital role in sustainable growth in the country's trade and commerce. Now, what are the major ports seen in India? We saw that nearly 12 major ports are there in India. First is Kolkata, Paradip, Vishakhapatnam, Kamarajar, which is in Ennore, Chennai, Chidambaranar, Cochin, New Mangalore, Murmuga, Deen Dayal, Mumbai, and finally NPT. These are the major ports seen in India. With this, Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust, that is JNPT, Special Economic Zone, became the first of its kind operational port-based multi-product SEZ in India. Now, what are the government initiatives for this ports and shipping industry have been done? The Indian government plays an important role in supporting the port sector. It has allowed foreign direct investment of up to 100% under the automatic route for port and harbor construction and maintenance project. It has also facilitated a 100-year tax holiday to enterprise that develop, maintain and operate ports, inland waterways and inland ports. The government has taken several measures to improve operational efficiency through mechanization, deepening the draft and speedy evacuations. Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways, and the Ministry of State for Road Transport and Highways. These three ministries have signed a tripartite agreement for the shift development of modern multi-modal logistics parks, that is MMLP, under the Brahmatmala Prayojana across the country. The draft Indian Ports Bill 2022 aims to centralize the administration of minor ports that are accurately managed by state governments. The Inland Vessels Bill, that is from 2021, was approved by the Lok Sabha. Instead of distinct regulations created by the states, the bill attempts to include a single legislation for the country. The Marine Aids to Navigation Bill 2021 was passed by the Parliament, incorporating global best practice, technological developments, and Indian international obligations in this field. Also, the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways and the Ministry of Culture signed an MOU for cooperation in the development of National Maritime Heritage Complex. Under the Sagarmala program, 143 projects were completed while 190 projects have been awarded and are under implementation. Under the National Perspective Plan of Sagarmala, 6 new mega ports will be developed in the country. The Maritime India Vision 2030, that is MIV 2030, identifies that over 150 initiatives across 10 themes covering all phases of the Indian maritime sector and is comprehensive effort to define and meet national maritime objectives. Now, what are the latest development have been seen? The first cargo ship has been arrived at the Vingam International Seaport. The Vingam International Transshipment Deepwater Multipurpose Seaport is an ambitious project taken by the government of Kerala. It is designed primarily to cater to container transshipment besides multipurpose and break bulk cargo. The port is being currently developed in landlord model with a public-private partnership component on design, build, finance, operate and transfer. Now our next topic is about quantum engine. Under this we are going to discuss about quantum state and quantum engine. First we'll discuss what is quantum state. A quantum state is a mathematical description of the physical properties of quantum system. The quantum mechanics, the fundamentally theory that describes the behavior of matter and energy at the smallest scales. Quantum states provide a complete specification of a system properties including its position, momentum, energy, spin, and other observable quantities. Quantum phenomena often defy our common sense and challenge our classical understanding of the world. One of these phenomena is the difference between two types of quantum particles, that is, bosons and fermions. Here the fermions are the building blocks of matter. Bosons are the particles that carry the forces acting between them. Bosons are the particles that can share the same quantum state, while fermions are particles that obey the Pauli exclusion principle, which forbids them from occupying the same quantum state. At low temperature, bosons can behave very differently than fermions because an unlimited number of them can occupy the same lowest energy level, while fermions have to fill up higher energy states. This energy difference between bosons and fermions has inspired researchers to design and build a novel quantum engine that can convert this difference into useful work. Now about the quantum engine. The quantum engine or Pauli's engine consists of a gas of lithium 6 atoms that are trapped into combined optical and magnetic trap. The gas can be turned to behave like bosons or fermions by changing the magnetic field around it. This is possible because the atoms can pair up into bosonic molecules or dissociate into individual fermionic atoms depending on the strength of magnetic field. The engine operates in four-step cycle and it opens up new possibilities for studying quantum thermodynamics and its implications for other fields of physics. Now, with this quantum engine is still in the proof of concept stage. Only application of the quantum engine could be in cooling the particles used in quantum computers. Quantum computers require extremely low temperatures to operate effectively, and the quantum engine could potentially serve as cooling mechanism for this particle, similarly to how an air conditioner cools the room. So that's all from this topic. Our next topic is about abortion laws in India. Under this, we are going to discuss about the evolution of this law, their important provisions, the reasons for ending a pregnancy up to 24 weeks, their exceptions, and what are the unborn child rights. So these are the topics we are going to discuss under this. First, the evolution of the medical termination pregnancy, that is MTP Act. Abortion has been legal in India since 1971. When the original act was first put into the effect in 1971, to a medical abortion up to 12 weeks of pregnancy required the approval of one registered doctor, and access to an abortion up to 20 weeks required the approval for two doctors. Through an amendment in 2003, new rules were introduced in the MTP Act to allow the use of misoprostol, a newly discovered abortion medicine, for medical termination of pregnancy for up to 7 weeks. The original MTP Act was updated more comprehensively in 2020, and the revised law became effective in September 2021. Now, what are the important provisions of this MTP Amendment Act 2021? The amendment raised the maximum gestation age of which a woman may obtain a medical abortion from 20 weeks under the MTP Act of 1971 to 24 weeks. However, under this updated upper limit, abortion rights can only be used in certain circumstances. Now, a single qualified medicinal professional opinion might be used to access the MTP up to 20 weeks into the pregnancy. From 20 weeks to up to 24 weeks, the opinion of two registered medical practitioners would be required. If a doctor's recommendation is provided and authorization is requested for at least one of the following reasons, it will be granted under this Act provisions. If the pregnant woman faces a risk to her life by continuation of the pregnancy. Next, if the continuation of pregnancy result in grave injury to the woman's physical or mental health. Now, what are the grounds of termination of the pregnancy up to 24 weeks? After seeking the opinion of two registered medical practitioners, the pregnancy can be terminated up to 24 weeks of gestational age under the conditions given below. The conditions are: if the woman is either a survivor of sexual assault or rape or incest, so she can terminate. Next, if she is a minor. Then, if she is a change in her marital status during the ongoing pregnancy due to widowhood or divorce. If she suffers from major physical disabilities or is mentally ill. Termination of pregnancy on grounds of fetal malformation incompatible with life or the possibility of seriously handicapped child being born. If the woman is situated in a humanitarian setting or disaster or stuck in an emergency as declared by the government. Now, pregnancy beyond 24 weeks, what it is? Abortion is performed based on the fetal abnormalities in cases where pregnancy has progressed over 24 weeks. A four-member medical board established in each state under the MTP Act must grant permission for this type of abortion. Now, what are the exceptions under this? The modified act also authorizes one certified medical practitioner to perform an abortion at any stage of pregnancy if it is urgently required to preserve the pregnant woman's life regardless of any of the aforementioned restrictions. Now, what are the laws in the case of unmarried women? According to the modified 2021 MTP Act provisions, unmarried women may also have an abortion in the aforementioned circumstance because the requirement for the spouse agreement is not mentioned. But if the woman is a minor, the guardian's approval is required. Does this act resolve worries about in the privacy? MTP Act has clauses that guarantee an abortion-seeking woman right to privacy. According to Section 5A of the MTP Act, registered medical providers may only disclose the name and other particulars of the lady whose pregnancy has been terminated to a person who has been authorized by law. In this, medical personnel violate or otherwise violate the woman's privacy. They could spend up to a year in jail, pay a fine, or even a both. Now, what are the problems are there with the MTP Act being implemented? According to the Rural Health Statistics 2019 to 20 report from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, there is 70% of shortfall of obstetrician gynecologists in rural India. Critics have noted that because the MTP Act's ban deliberate abortion, it forces women to get unauthorized abortions in unsanitary and hazardous settings. According to the statistics, many of the Indians, nearly 80,000 unsafe and illegal abortions per year that are done result in maternal death. What are the rights of a unborn child? Upholding the right to life of an unborn child, the Supreme Court turned down the plea of a woman seeking termination of a 27th week of old pregnancy. A bench of Chief Justice of India held that medical termination of the pregnancy could not be permitted as the pregnancy have crossed outer limit of 24 weeks. The concept of the rights of the unborn child is a complex and debated issue, particularly in the context of legal and ethical discussions. The rights of an unborn child may vary depending on cultural, legal, and ethical perspectives. In many legal systems, the unborn child's rights are not explicitly recognized until a certain stage of development or birth. This varies from country to country. For example, in some jurisdictions, rights may be recognized at the point of viability when the fetus can potentially survive outside the womb. The rights of unborn child may intersect with the rights and autonomy of the pregnant person. Some argue that unborn child has rights to health and well-being, including protection from harm, adequate nutrition, and a safe environment during pregnancy. Reproductive rights and choices of the pregnant person must be balanced against the rights of unborn child. The debate often centers on who's the ultimate decision-making authority in the event of conflict. Protecting the rights and health of the pregnant person is also of great importance. Maternal rights are in critical consideration when discussing the rights of the unborn child. So that's all from our today's topics. To read this document, you can visit our website. Our website link have been provided in the description. To get more daily current affairs videos, follow our YouTube channel, also our Telegram channel. Thank you.